Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Our big focus this morning is on Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, the Union Territory is going to be witnessing a historic moment as assembly polls are taking place after a decade in the region. That is going to be our big focus through the day right here on NewsX, because today is the first phase of the three-phase Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. In the first phase today, 219 candidates are in the fray. 24 assembly seats will be polling today. Their fate will be decided by a 23 lakh strong electorate across 7 districts located on either side of the Pir Panjal mountain range. For a smooth polling process, the Election Commission has set up 3,276 polling stations, which will be manned by a total of 14,000 polling staff. Amongst the 24 seats going to polls today, several high-profile battles are being fought. Yes, in Pampur, Hasnain Masoodi of the National Conference is facing Zahoor Ahmed Mir of the PDP, who had won in 2008 and 2014. Masoodi, a former MP from Anantnag, is seeking to unseat Mir. In Tral, meanwhile, it's the PDP's Rafiq Ahmed Naik who's up against Surinder Singh from the Congress in a seat held by the PDP's Mushtaq Ahmed Shah since 2008. In Bijbihara, a key constituency in Anantnag, there's a three-way contest taking place between Iltija Mufti of the PDP, Sophie Yusuf of the BJP and Bashir Ahmed Viri of the NC Congress Alliance. Iltija, of course, is former Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti's daughter and former stalwart of Jammu and Kashmir and CM Mufti Mohammad Syed's granddaughter. Meanwhile, Pulwama is seeing a dramatic race as Wahid-ur-Rahman Para, a prominent face, of course, of the PDP, is taking on Mohammad Khalil Band, who won the seat for the PDP in 2008 and 2014, but is now sporting the NC banner. In Kulgam, it's veteran CPIM candidate Mohammad Yusuf Tariqami, who's defending his seat against independent candidate Sayyar Ahmed Reshi, who's backed by the band Jamaat-e-Islami. And finally, in Duru, it's the PDP's Mohammad Ashraf Malik who will challenge the Congress strongman Ghulam Ahmed Mir in a constituency long seen as a Congress bastion. Well, it has been 5 years since the abrogation of Article 370 in J&K, but today's Jammu and Kashmir is a testament to the power of transformation. We've seen remarkable increase in the voter turnout, which stood at 58% during the Lok Sabha polls. On that note, as several early birds are queuing up in front of voting booths to cast their mandate, let's quickly go across to them to gauge the pulse on the ground. But before we do that, we have some more details for you that I'd quickly like to apprise our viewers before we get in. Some of our colleagues who are spread out across the length and breadth of Jammu and Kashmir, getting you, of course, the pulse of the voter on ground, finding out what the main issues are that they're going to be voting on this time around. But let's show you, of course, what took place first in the Lok Sabha elections. Remember, those elections, of course, were held earlier this year itself. And what did they throw up? Well, let's tell you what happened. 5 seats, of course, in total Jammu and Kashmir region. Out of them, the BJP won 2 seats out of 5. The National Conference won 2 seats. The Congress drew a blank. The PDP drew a blank. One independent one. Of course, Engineer Rashid was that one other that you can see over here in this graphic. So, of course, the 5 seats are split between the BJP, the NC, and, of course, as I said earlier, 1 seat going to others. If we talk about the vote share recorded in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, well, this is what it looked like. The BJP, interestingly, at 24%, others taking 27%. The actual biggest chunk of the vote share block went to others. That's 27%. BJP coming in second with 24%. The NC polled 22%. The Congress polled 19%. And the PDP polled 8%. Remember, the Congress and the National Conference, though, of course, are tied up for these assembly polls. They are in an alliance. So if we, of course, put their chunk together, it becomes the single largest bloc in Jammu and Kashmir. Meanwhile, if we talk, of course, about the Jammu and Kashmir assembly polls now, as I said earlier, it's a 3-phase election, of course. Could we please go to the previous slide? Okay, I think we're having some error there. But as I was telling you, it's a 3-phase election, of course, with Jammu and Kashmir polling happening on the 18th of this month. that's today, the 25th of this month, that's later of course, and also the 1st of October. Today, 24 seats out of 90 are actually going to the hustings. Meanwhile, of course, if we tell you what happened in 2014, so 2014, the situation was like this, that of course the PDP was the single largest party. It stood at 28 seats. Meanwhile, the BJP had got 25. And of course, the NC and the Congress. I'll request our producers to please slow down the graphic so I can help explain it for our viewers before you change. But of course, as you saw over there, of course, it was a PDP bloc which stood first. The BJP, of course, which came second, and the NC and Congress had finished a third and a fourth in the race, apart from, of course, the others that also got the other chunk of the seats. 2014, the assembly polls, when they were last held, saw a vote share thrown up like this, where the PDP and the BJP got the highest vote share, 23% each. The NC stood at 21%, the Congress at 18%, and others stood at 15%. So this is what, of course, the vote share last time around looked like. So these, of course, were some details that we were sharing to you, of course, about what things looked like last time around. But now let's talk about the big story that came out from the Lok Sabha elections. That was the voter turnout. Yes, the voter turnout has, of course, seen a huge spike. It was the highest in 3 decades. Yes, look at the figure. Pretty good in 1996, 47.99% then. But since then has plummeted steadily. So 43.35% is what it dropped to. In 98, went all the way down to 30.89%. Voter turnout in 99, 2004, so it rise marginally, but very marginally, to 34.11%. Went up slightly to 38.91% in 2009. Went again up to 49.21% in 2014. Went down in 2019 to 44.37%, and went to the highest that was recorded in 3 decades at 58.46% in, of course, the 2024 Lok Sabha elections earlier in the year, where we, of course, saw steady lines across most constituencies, which was a very, very good sign. Interesting fact, of course, which has emerged is that there are 1.23 lakh voters in Jammu and Kashmir phase 1 voting. Total is 23.27 lakh electorate, as we told you, of course, earlier. Out of this, 11.76 lakhs are male, 11.51 lakhs are female voters. So pretty evenly split, of course, over there. If we talk about the polling stations and how many are in urban and rural setups, well, 3,276 polling stations total for this first phase. Out of them, 302 are urban stations and 2,974 rural stations. Total polling staff, which of course will be manning the poll booths today, is about 14,000 personnel. And of course, we must give our kudos to them as well, because it's only because of their dedication that polling is conducted in a free and fair manner. Now, of course, 9 out of 219 candidates are women. That is a very, very bad statistic, though. That's a poor statistic. Stark contrast there. 96% male candidates in the fray today, only 4% female candidates. So not a very good sign there. But of course, remember, that might change very, very soon with the women's reservation bill kicking in not too long a time. The average age of candidates, if we talk about overall statistics of the National Conference, is 58 years. The average age of PDP candidates is 56. The average age of Congress candidates is 52 years. BJP is 50. Others is 46. So that's, of course, the average age of the candidates in the fray today. And of course, quickly, we talk about party representation. Well, 21 candidates from the PDP in the fray today. 155 others. Again, that's quite a chunk. Remember, Jammu and Kashmir does see a lot of independence in the fray, and from other parties, of course, like the Jamaat and like the AIP and the Forward Bloc and whatnot. But 21 PDP candidates in the fray, 18 from the National Conference, 9 from the Congress. Remember, as I told you earlier, they're in an alliance. BJP has fielded 16 in today's seats. But let's now quickly go across on ground. As I told you earlier, our reporters, of course, are spread out across the Union Territory. My colleague Ajay Jandyal is actually at the Islamia High School in Bijbehara. Let's go across to him first. Ajay, good morning to you. What are you seeing around you in Bijbehara? Have voters started to arrive at the polling booth you're standing at, Ajay, and just tell us about the constituency and what the main voting issues there are.
Yes, Uday, and very good morning, and definitely a peaceful environment and very good weather over here. And let's start with the first voter, because he's the man who have just came out of the polling station. क्या कहेंगे 10 सालों के बाद वोट डाला है, कैसा लग रहा है?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत 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 अच्छा लग रहा है।
इंतजार था इस दिन का?
हाँ, हमको इस दिन का 18 तारीख का इंतजार था। हमको नींद नहीं आ रही थी कि हम कब वोट डालेंगे।
सुबह सुबह आप आए हैं, पहले आपने एक पौधा भी लगाया आज?
हाँ, मैंने पौधा भी लगाया यहाँ पर, पहला वोट भी डाला है, पहला पौधा भी लगाया सुबह सुबह।
क्या सोचकर वोट डाला आज की? क्या मसले हैं आपके जो पिछले 10 सालों से एड्रेस नहीं हो रहे थे?
यहाँ बहुत मसले हैं, यहाँ के बच्चे पढ़े लिख कर बैठे हैं घर में, या यहाँ पर बहुत बेरोजगारी है, इसीलिए अगर उनको फ़ायदा मिल जाएगा तो मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। हाँ।
और कैसी सरकार चुनेंगे इस बार?
इस बार चुनेंगे पीडीपी सरकार।
अच्छी सरकार चुनेंगे?
हाँ, अच्छी सरकार।
आप निशान बताएंगे जो वोट डाल के हैं?
ये है ना।
So you can see, people, those who basically are coming to the polling station, they are saying that they were eagerly waiting for this day, because for last 10 years there were no assembly elections, and that's why they are saying that they basically want to cast their vote so that they can elect a person who can, do their work. Because in last several years, what they have seen that because of the, non-availability of the representative, they are saying that they were not able to do the same. You could see that this is the polling station where Mehbooba Mufti and daughter of Mehbooba Mufti, Iltiza Mufti, who's a candidate from this constituency, they'll come here. आप भी वोट डाल के आ गए?
हाँ, मैं वोट डाल के आया हूँ।
क्या कहेंगे, कैसा लग रहा है वोट डाल के आज 10 सालों के बाद असेंबली के चुनाव?
हम बहुत खुश हैं आज अपनी बात कहने के लिए वोट के जरिए।
और लोगों को क्या कहेंगे ऐसे मौके?
लोगों को कहेंगे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा निकलो, वोट करो। आज हमें अपनी बात कहने का हक है वोट के जरिए। 10 साल के बाद जो हमसे छीना गया उसके खिलाफ हम वोट डाल रहे हैं आज पुरअमन तरीके से।
पीसफुल माहौल है, कोई डर?
कुछ टेंशन नहीं, सब लेडीज निकल रहे हैं, बूढ़े बच्चे सब निकलेंगे। आज बहुत अच्छी पोलिंग होगी। अपनी बात कहने का कि जो हमसे छीना गया हम उसके खिलाफ हैं।
So you can see they are saying that they are going to cast their, and you can see that the females, they are also bringing the kids with them. Let's speak to one of a person over here who have come here. क्या कहेंगे, आप भी वोट डाले? डाला आपने वोट?
हाँ, डाला।
कैसा लग रहा है वोट डाल के?
शुर बेकार इन गोस खुदाई रोजगार सोजन साय गोस कर गई तान बेन साफी गरीबी मज पढ़न लेखन शुर अंदर कन आईफल कर अंदर कन बेड कर अंदर कन ये कह फायदे वोत अस क्या फायदे वन आज दपान आज गोस खुदाई रसूल रुस साय कर गोस फायदे मिलन।
She's speaking in the local language Kashmiri and saying that
yes.
बेरोजगारी एक मसला है और इनके जो मसले हैं उसे लेकर वोट डाला है। आप भी वोट डालने पहुंचे?
हाँ, मैंने डाला
वोट। क्या कहेंगे लोगों को, वोट निकले घर से?
हाँ, सब निकलेगा इंशाल्लाह।
इस बार भी पुराने रिकॉर्ड टूटेंगे जो पार्लियामेंट में चुनाव हुए थे?
ना, इंशाल्लाह इस बार भी वोट टूटेगा वो।
So you can see they basically,
yes,
people
a lot of energy
right.
there at that polling booth in Bijbehara that you're standing at, Ajay, which is a very good sign. A steady trickle of voters already in the first half an hour of polling, which is of course a very good sign. Let's hope that continues through the day today. Ajay, stay with us. In fact, let's quickly now hop across to Arzu Seth. Arzu Seth is joining us at from the government higher secondary school in Doda. Doda, of course, is the place where the Prime Minister had also gone for an election rally not too long back. Arzu, what is the situation at Doda? Are you seeing steady lines this morning? Let's talk to some voters also to find out what their main issues are. Arzu, over to you.
Well, yes, Uday, and after a decade, the people of Jammu and Kashmir are all set to cast their votes, and you can see the enthusiasm in the people of Jammu and Kashmir. We are at the Doda polling booth, and you can see the people queuing up in the line, and we also have the BJP candidate Gajay Singh Rana. Sir, how did you see this contest? और आपने वोट किया है, एक बार अपनी स्याही भी दिखा दीजिए। तो और हम देख रहे हैं लंबी लाइन जो है वो लगी हुई है, क्या मैसेज देना चाहेंगे वोटर्स?
मैसेज ये देना चाहेंगे, सबसे पहले आपका अधिकार है वोट, क्योंकि डेमोक्रेसी में वोट डालना कंपलसरी है। तो इसलिए सबसे पहले मैं अपील करना चाहूँगा, आप घर से निकलिए और वोट डालिए। वोट डालने के बाद अपने घर के जो आपके सदस्य हैं उन सबको वोट डलवाइए, फिर अपने अगल बगल में जितने भी लोग हैं सबको वोट डलवाइए।
और सर अगर बात करें तो क्या कुछ डोडा का इश्यूज हैं जिन पे आप जो काम है आने वाले समय में वो करना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, डोडा का इशू पर्टिकुलरली ये बेरोजगारी तो डोडा का इशू है ही है, वो आज कोई नई बात नहीं है। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि डोडा इस समय अमन और भाईचारे के तरफ बढ़ रहा है। जो हमारा रिवायती यहाँ का था उस रिवायत को दोबारा से कायम किया जा रहा है और हमारा फोकस रहेगा कि अमन भाईचारा बरकरार रहे और उसके साथ साथ में डेवलपमेंट के काम भी होते रहेंगे।
आपने अमन और भाईचारे की बात करी, लेकिन पिछले कुछ दिनों में कुछ कहीं ना कहीं कुछ टेररिस्ट एक्टिविटीज जो है वो पास के इलाकों में देखने को मिली है। उसको किस तरीके से देख रहे हैं? क्योंकि लगातार प्रधानमंत्री जो है वो भी ये कहते हैं और उन्होंने पहली शुरुआत जो है रैली की यहीं से की थी, डोडा से की थी, और उन्होंने दहाड़ लगाई थी कि टेररिज्म जो है वो अपनी आखिरी सांसें ले रहा है। इसको किस तरीके से देख रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल, ये बहुत उन्होंने जो बात कही है वो बिल्कुल सत्य है। यहाँ के जो हमारा 90 से लेकर और 2014 तक का कालखंड गया है, काफ़ी दुखद और काफ़ी दुर्गम क्षेत्र हमारा है और काफ़ी लोग परेशान यहाँ पे थे, डर के वातावरण में यहाँ रहते थे। लेकिन 14 से 24 का जो समय आया है उस समय में काफ़ी डेवलपमेंट हुई है आज। लेकिन जो देश विरोधी ताकतें हैं उनकी ये फोकस रहता है और उनकी कोशिश रहती है कि हम किस तरीके से इस एरिया को अशांत करें। लेकिन हमारी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेज इस समय सक्षम है, केंद्र सरकार सक्षम है और हम यहाँ पर ऐसी कोई भी साजिश उनकी कामयाब नहीं होने देंगे।
और वहीं सर अगर आपके ओपोनेंट्स की भी बात करें तो यहाँ पर कांग्रेस और एनसी साथ में है, कहीं ना कहीं पीडीपी जो है वो त्रिकोण डायरेक्शन जो है वो इस इलेक्शन को दे रही है। आप किस तरीके से देखते हैं और क्या लग रहा है आप चुनौती दे पाएंगे कैंडिडेट्स को?
हमारे त्रिकोणीय मुकाबला हो चाहे 4 कोने में मुकाबला हो, कोने जितने भी हों हमारा कोना विजय रहेगा। हम विजयी थे, विजय ही रहेंगे।
और सर अगर बात करें, क्योंकि आप लगातार कह रहे हैं कि जनता को आपको मौका देना चाहिए, तो अगर जनता ने आपको मौका दिया तो आपकी प्रायोरिटीज जो है वो डोडा को लेकर और जम्मू कश्मीर को लेकर क्या रहेंगी?
जी, मेरी प्रायोरिटी ये रहेगी कि इस बार जैसे आप वोट डालते हो, वोट डालने के बाद 5 साल तक लोग परेशान रहते हैं, वोटर परेशान रहते हैं। ये जनता को आश्वासन दिलाना चाहूँगा कि इस बार का वोट आपके जीवन में एक ऐतिहासिक वोट होगा और इस वोटर डालने के बाद आपको ऐसा लगेगा कि मेरा वोट जाया नहीं गया। ये आश्वासन जनता को दिलाना चाहिए।
तो we can hear you know the BJP candidate from Doda. Thank you so much sir for talking to us, and also we also have some people, you know, they have come first to cast their vote since the morning. They're queuing up in the line. Sir, अगर डोडा की बात करें तो आपको क्या लगता है, क्या आपने दिमाग में रख के आज वोट किया है? क्योंकि 10 साल बाद मौका मिला है।
हमें आज पहले आपको शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं कि आपने हमको मौका दिया बात करने का। सबसे पहली बात है कि यहाँ बेरोज़गारी बहुत ही यहाँ पर है। हम चाहते हैं यहाँ का कम से कम बड़ा सा कोई प्रोजेक्ट हो, जैसे हाइड्रो इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोजेक्ट हो, जहाँ के हमारे बेकार बच्चे हैं वो अपने रोजी रोटी कमा सकें। दूसरी बात ये, आप पहाड़ियाँ देख रहे हैं, ये पहाड़ियों के दामन में बड़े बड़े क्या कहते हैं टूरिस्ट स्पॉट्स हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि टूरिस्ट स्पॉट्स हों और इसको डोडा को टूरिज्म दायरे में लाया जाए। तीसरी बात यह है कि हमारे यहाँ पर एक एरिया है जी, वुमेन कॉलेज होने की बड़ी जरूरत है, क्योंकि
So we spoke to, of course, the BJP candidate from that constituency. Also, of course, some voters. We'll continue to get you, of course, the pulse from on ground and more reactions from, of course, voters from other constituencies too. But for now, Arzu Seth and Ajay Jande, I'll appreciate both of you joining us with those ground reports. In fact, we also have some special guests joining us live this morning. Let's quickly get them into the conversation as well. Shreya Handu is live with us, spokesperson of the Jammu and Kashmir National Conference. Major Mohammad Ali Shah, defense expert, is also live with us. Sunita Vakil, senior journalist, joins us live. Sumit Peer, political commentator, is also live with us. Savio Rodriguez, BJP leader, also joins us this morning. Let me quickly go across to you first, Savio. It's, of course, a Naya Jammu and Kashmir, as the Prime Minister has been saying. We are certainly hoping for a Naya vote and a Naya voting turnout as well for the Assembly, as we saw in the Lok Sabha earlier this year. How hopeful are you of the BJP's chances? You're going it alone, of course, this time. But how hopeful are you of improving on your performance from the last time around and possibly forming government again? Is that a possibility? Or do you believe that perhaps you will need the help of other parties post the 8th of October?
Uday, a very good morning to you and to all your panelists. And let me first say that all the people of Jammu and Kashmir, especially in the constituencies that are voting today, it is your duty to come out and vote for what you believe is the future of your constituency, and therefore, please come out and vote. That's the most important aspect. To answer your question, Uday, I think the transformation that Jammu and Kashmir has seen post the abrogation of Article 370 is something that is going to really define whether the people of Jammu and Kashmir vote for the BJP or not. The transformational changes that are being brought, the plans that the government has put in place, the freedom that the people of Jammu and Kashmir are witnessing since the abrogation of Article 370, the inclusiveness that they are feeling with the rest of the country is something that's going to decide which way the voters move. Obviously, I am optimistic that the voters are going to have that confidence in the BJP. But what I would like to say is that at the end of the day, the power of the voter is more important. BJP and its workers, even though, growing slowly in Jammu and Kashmir, have done their very best to reach out to every single voter that they are connected with. I believe at the end of the day, the decision to vote has to be with the voter, and that's his right. What is important for Jammu and Kashmir is growth. What is important for Jammu and Kashmir is socio-economic development. What is important for Jammu and Kashmir is to ensure that the young of Jammu and Kashmir move towards progress. They have been living for a long time under the cloud of terrorism. And that is what the government, under the leadership of Narendra Modi, has been fighting ever since it came into power in 2014. The abrogation of Article 370 was with that focus to ensure the inclusiveness of the people of Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India. And that itself, yes, you are going to find people. There are some surprising elements that are in Jammu and Kashmir even now. You have seen that there is a particular separatist that is gaining recognition and gaining a mass following over there, and that was reflected in the Lok Sabha votes as well. But what is important for the people of Jammu and Kashmir is the confidence that they need to put in the system of progress and rather than digress. And therefore, I believe that the wise people of Jammu and Kashmir will choose the BJP for its progressive policies.
Okay. Let me quickly get in Shreya Handu of the National Conference. Shreya Handu, what do you believe the issues are that are dominating the discourse this time around for the assembly elections? What is top of the mind of the voter according to you? And how confident are you, Shreya, that your alliance with, of course, the NC Congress fighting together is going to be in a position to form government come the 8th of October?
First of all, good morning to everybody. I think today, as Savio said, it's a great day for all of us. It's been 10 years since everybody has been waiting for this particular day. And as you showed on the TV earlier, many people are already outside and voting. It's only 7:30, and that's a great feeling anyway. Coming back to your question, I think the biggest problems that Jammu and Kashmir is facing right now, one of them, I think all of the voters that came in today, as of now, have been talking about is unemployment. The youth is educated, sitting at homes doing nothing, which has basically been the biggest issue. As far as the INC and NC alliance is concerned, I think the people of Jammu and Kashmir have faced immense challenges in the last few years. We didn't have a government for almost 5 years now. The voting is happening after 10 years. As the day progresses, we will see how it works. But as of now, everybody is highly enthusiastic, and we shall see how it works from here.
Major Mohammad Ali Shah, come in here on, of course, how important also the security apparatus on ground has been. Jammu and Kashmir, of course, is a sensitive region. We have seen, of course, a decline in major terror incidents after the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. It was, of course, concerning to have certain terror incidents, though, reported earlier this year, also from the Jammu region in particular. But how much of a security apparatus has actually been put on ground for an exercise like this one in a sensitive region like Jammu and Kashmir? Also, of course, polling is happening in 3 phases. So when polling is, of course, spread out, it enables security to be deployed in different pockets and, of course, then move to other sensitive polling booths. So let's just talk a bit about the security overhaul, which actually is leading to the free and fair polling, which we are seeing this morning, and we hope will progress through the day today.
It's a very, very good question, Uday. And firstly, thank you very much for having me on your show. And good morning to everyone. And heartiest congratulations to the entire nation. 10 years the nation has waited for voting, for polling to happen in J&K. So it's a very, very big day for all of us, in fact. So now, regarding the security aspect, Uday, Jammu Kashmir was a troubled state. I think so there was a lot of trouble there. In fact, I'll take you back to the year 2003, 2005. I was myself posted over there, the young lieutenant at the line of control, 30 meters away from the Pakistani post. And we have seen firsthand tensions, violence, bloodshed, firing happening, abrogation of ceasefire happening all the time from Pakistan side. We have seen trained militants coming across. How they've come, that's a different story altogether, but they've come and they've been nabbed and we've shot them down. So the very fact is now we've had G20 meeting in Kashmir. We've had film festivals in Kashmir. We've had a hub of tourists going there. Now the terrorists also are frustrated very, very badly. They had focused Kashmir at one time. In 90s, Kashmir used to be burning. Slowly and gradually it calmed down. But now, after the abrogation of Article 370, after August 2019, the spate of violence and the incidents have definitely come down. It's a fact. See, it does not happen overnight. People would argue that no, it hasn't come down. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. But most certainly at that time when I was posted there, there was local support to the militants and to the anti-national elements. But now I'm finding the local support going down. We saw Burhan Wani's father, who's a school headmaster. He hoisted the national flag on 15th August, 2 odd years back. So the very fact is, now I will take you back once again. What you had said, I would just give a background. I would reiterate that the first phase of Jammu Kashmir elections is underway. And in fact, we saw from 7 a.m. till now it's already 7:34. But in 34 minutes, we saw you reporter did a brilliant job. My compliments to the report of NewsX for being on ground and interviewing so many people from ground zero over there. 24 seats were covered across 6 districts. Now, again, as I mentioned, 23 lakh voters are eligible for 219 candidates. Now, in the first phase there are a lot of security beef up deployments all over. They will not take a chance because first time it's happening in 10 years. So most certainly security agencies are deployed. The army, the police who are going to be working in tandem. Now the 24 seats, as I mentioned earlier, 6 districts of Union Territory. Now this also marks the beginning of a 3-phase, which you mentioned. The first such exercise in the erstwhile state in Delhi, which we have just covered. Now the 24 constituencies which we are voting today, they said that Pir Panjal constituency 16 in Kashmir and 8 in Jammu. The very fact is now after the states, the polling stations, they include Trial, Pulwama, Rajpura, Zainpura, Sopian, Dehpura, Kolgam, Devsar, Doru, Kokinganag, Anantnag West, Anantnag, Shiguvara. So these are the stations, Bijbehara, Shigufta, Sangbur, Anantnag East, Pelgam, Kashmir, Inderwal, Kishtwar, Padar, Badarwa, Doda. So these particular stations were burning at one time. We couldn't have imagined polling happening there, that to peacefully touch votes.
Yes.
So it's a great success, and I would commend the security agencies who are deployed over there.
Absolutely. Let me quickly get in Sumit Peer as well into the conversation. Sumit Peer, according to you, of course, which have emerged to be the main issues this Jammu and Kashmir election, and what do you believe will ultimately determine the final mandate for the Union Territory, Sumit?
Uday, good morning. Thank you very much for having me on your show. Well, when we come off it, there are a couple of things which have strayed off the table. Look, after the abrogation of 35A and 370, a lot of things have happened there, a lot has changed. It's a reboot of the system. It's a great reboot, and it only happened under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Modi. And as promised, they said the statehood would be restored. The elections will happen. Elections are happening, so the people have to be assured whatever Modi ji committed, whatever Mr. Shah committed, that is happening. If you look at the quantum of investment, if you look at the tourism, if you look at the share numbers, if you look at the investment which has come in, if you look at the change of the security situations overall, if you look at the incidence of terrorism, there is no stone pelting. Hurriyat is not there. A lot of evils which were perennial evils have been cut to size, which we've been debating over years. So overall, the situations have been fantastically well. They have changed. We have seen on 31st January, people in Lal Chowk, we have seen picture halls, we have seen these nightclubs, we have seen all-time high tourists. So these are all the positive signs. Now coming to the politics of it, look, there are three regions basically. One is the Jammu region. I can give you today writing Jammu region will go BJP way, the surrounding Jammu. Then this Bhadrawa Kishtwar leader, it's an open fight for all. I think BJP has the edge. If you look at the valley, two parts of the valley mainly. One is South Kashmir. South Kashmir is going PDP way, whichever way we look at it. I can give you writing today. And the other part of the valley, which will be, it will be basically the Congress and the NC alliance will hold ground, because Umar Abdullah was worried after losing to Rashid Engineer for 1.5 lakh votes. That is why he tied up with Congress, because Congress and NC put together hold a sizable vote bank, which can float them into the parts of the valley. So overall, we have to see where does BJP do as compared to last time. I think overall BJP will do better because Bhadrawa, Kishtwar and all, and even in some pockets of the valley, it will have gains. But will these gains turn into seats? No, they will not, because South Kashmir, it's already the PDP bastion, and they will do well there. They have the support there. In other parts of the valley, it is the NC Congress which will do well there. But all other parts of the Jammu and Kashmir, Jammu, Bhadrawa, Kishtwar and all put together, Ramban including and all, it will be a good for BJP. People will want to see what the BJP has done. People love what the BJP has done. But the unfortunate part is that there are people, there are forces, which are very sympathetic to the local parties. Somehow there is a feeling which is brought in, 370 was wrong. And as some people are claiming, like NC, that will get the 370 back, which is practically impossible because the Supreme Court has ruled it down. But when it comes to elections, it's not important what you can do and what you can deliver. It is the sentiment. Whatever sells on the ground is what makes the buck. I mean, that is what it is going to be. Congress and NC coming together is a sign of not strength, is a sign of compulsion. That is why after 10 years they have come together. They will get some electoral gains, but will they be able to form the government and all? That is something to be seen. And let's not forget that the delimitation is not done. Traditionally, it has also happened with the 7% of the voting that NC and PDP or anybody will be the chief minister there. So I mean, voter turnout will be much more. I am very confident on that. There is no doubt on that. More voter turnout is not good news for NC and PDP. Usually, if the voter turnout is more, NC and PDP are not used to winning at a high voter turnout. They're masters at winning at 7, 10%, 11%. Traditionally, if you look at the Jammu region, if you look at the Doda, Ramban region, they come and vote in the full flow. But we have seen Kashmir region, the Valley region, 7%, 8%, 11% voting. But still the chief minister comes from there because that is what the magic is. 15% of the area controlling 65% of the seats. Now, there are some inherent drawbacks in the system. The delimitation is not there, but the election had to be done. BJP will do far better. The sentiment is there. But unfortunately, will it be a BJP government? I have my own doubts. I'll be very honest with you. But BJP tying up with somebody like Apni Party and all, some kind of a possibility is there. I will not rule out BJP. BJP is a player with Apni Party and all. Some kind of a possibility is there because, as a matter of fact, if compulsions are made, NC and Congress come together, it itself is a big deal. Usually, they would have not come together. If they didn't come together for the parliamentary elections, why for the state elections? Because Rashid Engineer was a surprise.
Okay, let's take that to Sunita Vakil. Sunita Vakil, do you believe that a hung assembly could possibly be in the offing for Jammu and Kashmir, or are you seeing a clear mandate this time for one party or one alliance? What is your overall assessment of the situation on ground? Which issues do you believe are dominating this time around, Sunita Vakil?
See, we have to just wait and watch how the battle of ideas unfolds in the valley. But the BJP also is hopeful of opening its account in the valley, and there are other parties who are promising a return of Article 370 and statehood, and they have also got a good chance. Then NC and Congress are claiming to safeguard the rights of the people. So, and BJP in Jammu has got a stronghold in the valley. It's weak, its political base is weak. The policies of economical policies of BJP have resonated well with the people of the Jammu. They have got a good chance in Jammu, but in some constituencies, because many of the constituencies like Doda, Ramban, Banihal, etc. are Muslim dominated. So we cannot, we will have to see how the battle of ideas unfolds. And this time we have independents also, strong independents in the fray. So we will have to see whether the NC Congress alliance will get majority, or will PDP regain its lost glory, or the independents will jolt the NC and PDP. These we have to just wait and watch.
Meanwhile, we are seeing some visuals coming in. These are visuals from Kulgam. You can see there already a long line on our screens. Let's please could take those visuals on our screen. You can look at that line. It's such a long line already. Just the first hour of polling right now, and already you are seeing long lines in various constituencies of Jammu and Kashmir. These are visuals coming in from Kulgam. Of course, as I said earlier, a thick security presence, of course, on ground. And of course ensuring that polling is free and fair, but also long lines being seen, which is again a good sign. It's something we saw earlier in Jammu and Kashmir in the Lok Sabha polls. Let's hope that will continue as well. Women also queuing up in large numbers, women also coming out to cast their vote, which is again another good sign, of course, for the region. Shreyandu, let me quickly come back across to you. Shreyandu, you can, of course, respond to the points made by some of the other panelists that you heard earlier. But also, Shreya, the fact is, are you wary of, this possible split in anti-BJP votes between the PDP, between the NC, between, of course, independents, between other smaller parties? Is that something you're wary of, Shreya? Also, as far as, of course, abrogation is concerned, there was this point made by certain analysts that it was a false promise put out by NC and Congress that they will bring back statehood and they will bring back 370 if voted to power. At the end of the day, they don't have majority in the center, and the center is where this law will have to be passed to bring back statehood and bring back 370 if it is to be done.
All right. So in the first phase itself, we have 219 candidates. There are 23 like eligible voters. There are 90 independent candidates. I think how that unfolds, we shall see as the day passes, as the day progresses. As of now, there are people on the ground voting. They're celebrating actually, but that's how it goes. As far as 370 is concerned, we never said that we are going to bring it back tomorrow. It is going to take a real amount of time, and we said that we are going to keep the battle alive, which we will. And as it was said that it is impossible to bring it back, well, it is not impossible. Bringing back 370 would require a constitutional amendment passed by both houses of the parliament with a 2/3 of majority followed by the president's assent. Hopefully, we are hopeful that someday that day will come, maybe not today, maybe 10 years down the line, maybe 15, maybe 20. But this is something that we will continue to fight for. Thank you.
Savi Rodriguez, interestingly, the NC Congress insisting that they will bring back Article 370 and 35A. A lot of, the other parties have made it into an election issue, of course, in Jammu and Kashmir as well. How do you see that impacting the minds of the voters? Also, Savio, some of the analysts on our panel today saying that there is going to be a split in your performance in Jammu and your performance in Kashmir, different parts of Kashmir, the valley and other regions, including South Kashmir. Do you see a gain for your party, or do you acknowledge that there are areas where you are still weak and that's why perhaps need some help in a scenario if you do well on the 8th of October?
Well, I believe the party, leaders of the party at Jammu and Kashmir, necessary for the people to have that confidence in the BJP. Be political machinations that will play as you know prior to the election and during the course of the elections as well, and people have that right to choose what they want to vote. I believe the BJP, the workers have gone ahead and taken the message of a very progressive Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, a new Jammu and Kashmir, and that is what the young of Jammu and Kashmir and the old are looking forward to. You are talking about a state which has been in turmoil for the last so many years. It was only now when it's become a union territory, and it's come under the direct focus of the center, that there is a semblance of hope, a semblance of a progressive socio-economic progressive future. And that is what people are wanting. So yes, there will be needs for employment, there will be needs for more infrastructure development, there will be needs for more entrepreneurship happening out of Jammu and Kashmir, and this is a process. It's going to take time, and it's happening. There is the confidence that is coming in. You don't have people wanting to opt for stone pelting as it used to be an economy at one point of time. You want people to come out and say, okay, let's have a legitimate job. Let's have an economic activity happening, and that's what BJP wants to do. So I believe, quite contrary to what is happening on the ground and the reports that people are talking about, I believe the people have that confidence that at least with the BJP, there is a hope for socio-economic progress, something that has eluded Jammu and Kashmir for a very long time. Yes, there are some incidents of terror activities that have sprung up again, but those are activities that are driven by enemies of India that want to create instability as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. And therefore, we have to continue to work with the youth, with the young adults in Jammu and Kashmir to give them that hope that the future is bright. The future is something that you have to make together with the rest of the people around. And that's what's happening. So BJP will do well. What are the number of seats? How are they going to form the government? Whether they form the government, that's left to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. I believe that we have done our best, and there is much more that needs to be done as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that to, but let me quickly, before I take that to Sumit Peer, ask you, would you be open to an alliance on the 8th of October? Could we possibly see PDP and BJP in alliance again if there is a mandate needed and you are short of it?
Well, Uday, to be very honest, that's way above my decision-making grade. That is a decision that will be taken by the people right at the top. But right now, what is our focus? Our focus right now is to be able to get the people out. We believe the people are confident in what we have done over a period of time, and that's the real card. Okay. We don't play on fear. We play on hope. That hope for the better for the people.
All right, you're hoping for the better for the people, and of course you will continue to raise that issue in the discourse ahead. Remember, there are still, of course, 2 more phases after this as well. But yes, more pictures coming in of more lines being seen, more queues being seen across different polling booths. Again, a very, very good sign across Jammu and Kashmir. Even as we get you further visuals now, we'll just try and tell our viewers which district this is. Okay, this is from Doda. These pictures are coming in from Doda in Jammu and Kashmir, where again you can see a very, very long line over there early this morning. Sumit, let me quickly go back across to you on that point, of course, Sumit, of interestingly the independents and the other parties in the fray. From the AIP to, of course, also, the candidates supported by the Jamaat to other, smaller players and other independents as well. How much of an impact are they going to have in particular on the Kashmir seats polling today and in the days ahead, Sumit?
Uday, these people are going to have an important role because Jamaat is banned. There were people who are advocating for Jamaat to be made mainstream, which was put down by the government, and rightly so. Now, in Jamaat also you have 2 or 3 factions. One faction is, everybody claims to be a Jamaati supported candidate, but who exactly is supported by whom, that is still to be seen. But the thing is, look, ultimately, push comes to shove, one day they will all align with PDP. Given a choice between NC Congress and PDP, they will align with PDP because the PDP's affiliation is directly from Jamaat. It's the political wing of Jamaat, what the PDP is traditionally. So they will align with PDP. These people will have influence. They will be able to get more votes. These people are going to dent Congress and NC alliance. Look, BJP is not a major player in the valley. And when you look at the BJP's performance in J&K, look at overall. Don't look at Kashmir Valley. Don't look at Jammu. Don't look at Doda. Look at the overall. Do the overall numbers of the state. I am very sure you'll see BJP has done fantastically well, but there are some political compulsions on the ground. There is this, there are these illusions which are being floated. We'll keep the fight on, with due respect to my friend here. Now, if you are going to have a 2/3 majority in the parliament in the both houses and have a president to sign that, I was in your show, one of the friends from NC told it might take us 60 years, but we'll keep the fight on. I say, I will not live that day. And Uday, you're younger than me, you will definitely. But I say, add one more zero, maybe make it 600. Then there will be no dispute. So, the canards like these are being floated, and the people are giving this illusion to believe that Umar Abdullah and Farooq Abdullah will make 370 back. I mean, come on, give us a break. This is not going to happen in India. Let me be as candid and as direct on that. If you want to fight the election, fight on things on development, fight on changing the use, fight on getting the J&K mainstream. Let's talk of how many software development paths are we going to have there. Let's talk on tourism. Let's talk of development. Let's talk of manufacturing. Let's talk of all those productive things. But if you are going to talk of Kohe Suleiman and Kohe Maran and talking about 370, then we know what you're up to. I think BJP has set the tone. BJP is going to do exceedingly well at a state level, and there will be a time when the delimitation is done. Don't be surprised at the right point of time in some election or there somewhere down the line, there will be a BJP chief minister somewhere down the line. It is a possibility. Today, the delimitation doesn't allow it, but otherwise, the policies of BJP, Kashmir people have liked. Youth have liked. Everybody wants jobs. Everybody wants development. Nobody is interested in Kohe Maran and Kohe Suleiman and 370. 370 is gone, dead, dusted and buried. You cannot bring it up. I mean, even if I give you 600 years, good luck to you. We all will not be there, but maybe somewhere we will still, it won't happen. If these kind of things are on the agenda, that talks of retrospective politics. That doesn't talk of positive politics. I'm surprised after the defeat of Mr. Abdullah, he's still talking of 370 and 35. If you want to go that route, people like Rashid Engineer are much competent than you, and there will be a lot of separatists who are still in jail who can hijack the agenda any day. Now, with these Jamaati candidates coming up and supported by Uday, they are going to be a nightmare for NC and Congress alliance because PDP is happy. Whichever way they will go, they will at the end of the day align with BJP. BJP will do well, but with Apni party and all, they have a chance. But BJP will not align with PDP. That is not what Modi ji wants. Apni party is an option. Some independents which are non-Jamaat supported is an option, but not with, of course, NC and Congress is ruled out, not with PDP. That's not what Modi will do. That's my opinion on it.
Okay, Sunita Vakil, quickly coming back across to you on now some of the interesting contests as well. Which are the constituencies you are keeping a close eye on today? Is it the constituency where Iltija Mufti of the PDP is in the fray? Is it the constituency where Ghulam Ahmad Mir of the Congress is in the fray? Is it the constituency of Doda where PM himself went to campaign? Is it the constituency where Wahid Rahman Para of the PDP is in the fray? Which are the VIP seats and the battles that you are keeping a close eye on today?
So we know 7 districts of J&K are going to vote, and 219 candidates are there, 40% of which are independents. So we are having 27 assembly segments, 8 of which are in Jammu region and 16 are in Kashmir Valley. So prominent candidates, Iltija Mufti, who is the 3rd generation of the Mufti clan. She is in a triangular contest with NC's Rahman Miri and BJP's Sophie Yusuf. So she is definitely a candidate to watch out for. And then we have NC, NC also. Then we have Rashid Engineer also, who came into limelight after a stunning victory over NC's Omar Abdullah. And then there are many other strong independents, and there is Ghulam Nabi Azad's party. And there are many many players, mainstream parties, and strong independents also this time. So we have to keep our fingers crossed, and it will be interesting to watch how the battle of ideas will unfold in the valley.
What do you believe could possibly be the X factor, Major Shah, which will determine or sway the mandate?
Right, Uday, you know, the X factor would be now the state of nationalism, I feel, because there was a time in J&K when people were not maybe that favoring that much of India, the mainstream India. They had wanted a different country, Azad Kashmir, and there were those talks. But now it's all integrated, it's into one. So we talk about nationalism. So I think nationalism could be a very, very good factor here into play over there.
Yes. So nationalism emerging as a dominant issue this time is an interesting point that you're making. Sumit, is that something you... Okay, I've run out of time. My thanks to our guests for joining us. We're taking a very short break. We're back on the other side, continuing our big focus on this and lots more.